Good day, Miss Rowling. I have read some of your works and find them to be quite entertaining. However, I cannot help but feel that your writing lacks the depth and complexity that characterizes true literary works.
Thank you, Mr. Shakespeare. I respect your opinion, but I believe that literature can be entertaining and still possess literary merit. Your plays, for example, are quite enjoyable to watch, but they also contain themes and insights that are still relevant today.
Indeed, my works explore complex human emotions and societal issues. They are not merely entertainment, but rather a reflection of the human experience.
I understand and appreciate that, but I believe that literature can take many forms. Your works may have been the norm in your time, but in the present day, there are many different types of literature that can still be considered valuable and impactful.
I see your point, but I also worry that the current trend towards more commercialized literature will lead to a degradation of the art form. Literature should challenge and provoke, not simply provide mindless entertainment.
I agree that literature should challenge and provoke, but that doesn't mean it can't be entertaining at the same time. As writers, we have to be mindful of our audience and their expectations. If we want to reach a wide audience and have a lasting impact, we have to make our works accessible and enjoyable to read.
I suppose you have a point there, but I also believe that the true value of literature lies in its ability to transcend time and place. The themes and issues that I explored in my works are still relevant today, centuries after they were written.
I agree, but the issues that we face today are different from the ones you faced in your time. As writers, we have to be aware of the cultural and societal context in which we are writing. We can't simply replicate what has been done before and expect it to be relevant and impactful.
I understand what you're saying, but I also believe that the fundamentals of good storytelling remain the same, regardless of the time and place. A well-told story will always resonate with people, no matter what the subject matter.
I agree that good storytelling is fundamental to literature, but the way we tell stories has evolved over time. As writers, we have to adapt to the changing cultural and technological landscape in which we operate. The rise of social media, for example, has created new opportunities for writers to connect with readers and tell their stories in different ways.
That is certainly true. The development of the printing press revolutionized literature in my time, and I can only imagine the impact that social media and digital technology will have on literature in the future.
Exactly. As writers, we have to be willing to experiment and take risks in order to stay relevant and impactful. We can't simply rest on our laurels and assume that what has worked in the past will work in the future.
I couldn't agree more. Writing is a constantly evolving art form, and we as writers have to be willing to evolve with it. That being said, I do hope that the fundamental principles of good writing and storytelling will always remain at the heart of literature.
I couldn't agree more, Mr. Shakespeare. The core principles of good writing and storytelling are essential, and they will always be a fundamental part of literature. However, the way we approach those principles may change over time.
Yes, that's exactly what I was getting at. The techniques and styles of writing may change, but the underlying principles remain the same. We need to continue to strive for excellence in our writing and storytelling, no matter what form it takes.
Absolutely. And one thing that I think is essential in good writing is the ability to connect with readers on an emotional level. Whether we're writing about love, loss, joy, or fear, our stories need to resonate with our readers and evoke powerful emotions.
I couldn't agree more. In fact, I think that's one of the things that makes literature so powerful. Its ability to stir our emotions and connect us to the human experience in a profound way.
Yes, and I think that's one of the reasons why literature is so important. It can help us to understand ourselves and each other in a way that nothing else can. It can broaden our horizons and help us to see the world in new and different ways.
Exactly. And I believe that the best literature not only entertains and informs, but it also inspires us to be better people. It can challenge our assumptions, broaden our perspectives, and help us to see the world in a new light.
Yes, I think that's a wonderful way to think about it. Literature can inspire us to be better, to do better, and to think better. And that's something that will always be valuable, no matter what form it takes.
I couldn't agree more, Miss Rowling. On another note, Miss Rowling, I've been hearing a lot about the topic of transgender rights and identity lately. As a writer who explores the complexities of human experience, what are your thoughts on this issue?
That is a complex and sensitive issue, Mr. Shakespeare. I believe that everyone should be treated with respect and dignity, regardless of their gender identity. However, I also believe that there are important biological and social differences between males and females that should be recognized and respected.
I understand what you're saying, but what about those who do not fit neatly into traditional gender categories? How do we navigate the complexities of gender identity in a way that is fair and just for everyone?
That is a difficult question, and I don't have all the answers. What I do know is that we need to have open and honest conversations about these issues. And we need to listen to the experiences and perspectives of those who are most affected by them. We need to find ways to support and empower individuals who are struggling with gender identity, while also respecting the biological and social differences between males and females.
I agree that open and honest dialogue is important, but I also worry that the issue of gender identity has become politicized and divisive. How can we approach this issue in a way that fosters understanding and empathy, rather than conflict and polarization?
That is a very good point, Mr. Shakespeare. I believe that we need to approach this issue with empathy and compassion, and we need to be willing to listen to the perspectives of those who may have different experiences and opinions than our own. We need to create a safe and inclusive space for individuals who are struggling with gender identity, and we need to support them in their journey towards self-discovery and self-acceptance.
I see what you're saying, and I think that creating a safe and inclusive space is an important first step. But how do we address the deeper societal and cultural issues that contribute to discrimination and marginalization of transgender individuals?
That is a complex issue, and it will require a multifaceted approach. We need to address issues of gender bias and discrimination at all levels of society, from schools and workplaces to the media and government. We need to challenge the harmful stereotypes and prejudices that perpetuate gender inequality and marginalization. And we need to work towards creating a more just and equitable society for all.
I couldn't agree more, Ms. Rowling. It has been a pleasure debating with you today, and I look forward to seeing the impact that your writing will have on future generations.
Thank you, Mr. Shakespeare. It's been an honor to discuss writing and literature with you, and I hope that we can continue this conversation in the future.